Hello and welcome to another booktube video from me, Lauren, from Lauren and the Books Are Up Your... I hope you're all having a lovely Friday. Today I've got a jumper on, it says read more books. It's so soft. Joni's jumpers, just the softest jumpers ever. And I'm about to play a board game with David and I want to be cozy and nice. Today, there's a table here. We've had a little move around in the lounge and I'm leaning against my pile of TBR books like I'm having a... Oh, David's punching stuff on the wall. We're all knocking things about. I'm leaning against these books here, just having a little rest on them. Today is my April TBR. Now, over the month of April, there will be 3 TBRs going up in this channel. Today's TBR, which is my April TBR. Next Friday is Cozy Reading Night, Spring Cozy Reading Nights. There'll be a TBR going up that day of the books that I hope to read on Cozy Reading Night. And then David and I are also going on holiday to Wales in April, and there'll be a TBR of what we're both going to read, although I hope David is planning on reading Nevermore, because I don't know, I think I might get rid of him if he's not. So yeah, so Cozy Reading Night, as I said, is next Friday, on Friday the 5th of April, running between the hours of 7 PM till 10 PM. It will be British summertime by then, BST. If you've not joined in with one of these before, then check out my announcement video down below. Basically, it's a night where I just chill out on the sofa. I'm active on Twitter and Instagram throughout, reading, relaxing, eating amazing food, burning candles, being snuggled under a blanket, just having a wonderful time. And that is next Friday, and my TBR for that will be going up then. But never mind about that. What books have I got planned to read in April when I'm not on holiday, when I'm not doing Cozy Reading Night? What books have I got planned to read? 2, 4, 6, 7 of them. I will start with the 2 books that I have planned for my book clubs. So my book club at work for May, sorry, we meet on the first Monday of every month. However, I think the first Monday of May is a bank holiday, so I don't think we'll be meeting until like the 14th or something, and we will be discussing Crazy Rich Asians by Kevin Kwan. Dave and I went to watch this at the cinema for his birthday last year when we were in Cromer, and we both really enjoyed it. It is about a very elite group of Asians living in Singapore, and I can't remember his name. What's his name? Nicholas Young. He proposes to his girlfriend Rachel, and no, I don't think he does propose. I think he brings her home for the summer to meet his family, and she doesn't realise he's quite as wealthy and has quite a bigger family and all these amazing houses and trips and everything. And I really enjoyed the film. I thought it was really fun, and since then I've been meaning to read the book of it. I actually wanted to read the book before I watched the film, but it just didn't turn out that way. This is the first in a trilogy. I'm not sure if I'll be reading the whole trilogy. But yeah, we'll see how I get on with the first one. So that is the first book. And then for my Patreon book club in April. Yeah, April. Yeah, that's May. This is April. At the end of April, we will be discussing The Scapegoat by Daphne du Maurier. So I run a Patreon book club on Patreon, where by $5 plus Patreons are able to vote in a poll where I pick a genre, and then I give 2 choices, and then out of that poll, God, I'm making this sound so confusing. You get to pick a book, and they picked The Scapegoat by Daphne du Maurier, and this is about 2 men, one English and the other French, and they meet in a railway station. Their resemblance is uncanny, and they spend the evening talking and drinking. It's not until John wakes the next morning that he realises his French companion has stole his identity and disappeared. So John steps into the Frenchman's shoes and faces a variety of perplexing roles as owner of a chateau, director of a failing business, head of a fractious family, and master of nothing. So really looking forward to reading that. Also, there is an adaptation that was on ITV a few years ago. It's got Andrew Scott in it, and you know I love Andrew Scott, so I'm going to be probably buying that and watching that as well. But yeah, really looking forward to it. I haven't read any Daphne du Maurier in ages. I don't think I've read any this year. Have I read? No, I don't think I have. So yeah, looking forward to that. And then, as you well know, I am aiming to read at least 1 translated fiction book a month. This month I will be reading Convenience Store Woman by Sayuka Murata, because why haven't I read it by now? It's amazing, and it's like hardly anything to it, and it's supposed to be really cool. So really looking forward to reading this. You are following Kiko, who is working at a convenience store, and she's very content with her life working at the convenience store, and everyone can't understand why she doesn't want more from life, but she's just happy working there. She just is enjoying herself stacking the shelves and everything like that. It's translated from the Japanese. I'm really looking forward to it, and yeah, this may become my Cozy Reading Night read, who knows. I reckon I could probably get that done in one night. But yeah, also, as well as it being like short, I think it's not even 200 pages. it's 161. Like, the actual text on the page, it's not that big either. So yeah, really like this. Bright yellow, French flaps, pink inside, everything good. The next few are 2 books, of which, and I won't go into too much detail because I'll be talking about this in my favourites and my wrap up. But this month I read it's my second John Boyne book, because I'd already read The Boy in the Striped Pyjamas, but this is like his first adult book I'd read, and I absolutely loved it. I read The Heart's Invisible Furies this month, and it has quickly shot up the scale to being one of my favourite books ever. I absolutely adored it. I thought it was amazing, and just so, like, amazing. I'll talk about it more, why I loved it, because this is a TBR. I'll talk about it more in my favourites and my wrap-up. But the day after I finished that book, I went to the library with my sister, and if you watch my reading vlog, you'll see that I picked up 2 other books by John Boyne, just because I love him so much and I thought he was an incredible writer and I can't wait to read more by him. I picked up A History of Loneliness, which I believe is quite an old book. Oh, no, it's not that old. It was published in 2014. But had he published other stuff by that point? Because, oh yeah, he published loads. The History of Loneliness, and this is about Father Odrin Yates, who's a good man, and he's dedicated to his vocation since entering Clonliffe Seminary at 17. He has lived through betrayal, controversy, and public condemnation of some of his dearest friends. Through all of this, he has remained firm in his belief, but something plagues his mind as the years pass, a feeling that there was things he didn't see, chances he missed, people he's let down. Is Father Yates as blameless as he always thought himself to be, and what of the church has he given his life to? So yes, that's the first one. And then I think this is his most recent one. And yeah, my friend Emma, who also loved His Heart's Invisible Fury, said that this one is also amazing, and that's A Ladder to the Sky. I don't know anything what these books are about. I just know how much I loved The Heart's Invisible Fury. So it says, if you look hard enough, you can find stories pretty much anywhere. They don't even have to be your own, or so would-be novelist Maurice Swift decides on early in his career. A chance encounter in a Berlin hotel with celebrated author Eric Ackerman gives Maurice an opportunity. For Eric is lonely and he has a story to tell. Whether or not he should is another matter. Once Maurice has made his name, he finds himself in need of a fresh idea. He doesn't care where he finds it as long as it helps him rise to the top. Stories will make him famous, but they will also make him beg, borrow and steal. They may even make him do worse. So very interesting. Really looking forward to reading both of those. Really looking forward to it. And then the last 2 are non-fiction books, and this one is actually one that was sent to me only this week with a very nice rosette, which is over there, and I can't get it at the moment. But the first one is How to Fail by Elizabeth Day. I'm not holding it upside down. That's it. That's all part of the hilarity of it. Now, I've not read anything by Elizabeth Day before. However, I do own The Party. Fourth Estate sent it to me when it came out. I don't think it was last year. I think it might have been the year before. She normally writes, Elizabeth Day is a journalist, but she's a fiction writer as well. But this is a non-fiction memoir about her life and her failures in life. But it's not a sort of like misery. It's sort of like celebrating the failures in life and what her failures in life have taught her. Now, I got sent this book earlier on this week, which is very, very exciting, and when I looked at it I was like, oh, I really want to read that, and it made me think I still haven't read The Party, which is just smirking at me here. But then I listened to the High Low podcast, which is a podcast that I very much enjoy, which is hosted by Dolly Alderton and Pandora Sykes, and they talk about things that are happening in like cultural things that are happening at the moment, politics, just everything, like what's on telly to what's going on in the House of Commons. And the guest they had on this week was Elizabeth Day talking about her memoir, and it really made me want to read it. So I'm gonna. It's not out at the moment of filming this. It's not out. It's out on the 4th of April. So yeah. So I'm looking forward to reading this. Yeah, very much so. And then this other book is a non-fiction book about Anne Lister. This is called Gentleman Jack, and it is a biography about Anne Lister, written by Angela Steedell. Anne Lister was a Regency landowner, a seducer and a secret diarist. The BBC has a series coming out on Anne Lister this year, and Saran Jones, I believe, is playing Anne. She was a Yorkshire heiress, an intrepid world traveller and a proud lesbian during a time when it was difficult simply to be female. She chose to remain unmarried, dressed all in black, and spoke openly of her lack of interest in men. The first woman to climb Vignemau in the treacherous Pyrenees, she journeyed as far as Azerbaijan and slept with a pistol under her pillow. As daring as Jean Huan and as passionate as Heathcliff, Anne would not be constrained by the mores of Regency society. And it says here, Anne's diaries lay hidden for many years before scholars were brave enough to crack their code. Her erotic confessions and lively letters tell the story of an extraordinary woman. In this groundbreaking new book, celebrated author Anne Stidell gives a fresh perspective on the life of a true English eccentric. So yeah, really, I mean, a similar thing has happened where I was sent this just before Christmas last year as an idea for a gift, which it would make a I mean, it's a beautiful book, so it would make a beautiful gift. And then I saw at the beginning of the year, they did a sort of like when the BBC do their like, this is what's coming out this year, or in spring, I think. There was a clip of Saran Jones dressed all in black, and I thought, bloody hell, I wonder if that's got anything to do with this. And it did. So yeah, so would like to read this alongside or before I watch the series, but very much looking forward to reading this. She sounds like an amazing woman, so, and you know I love an amazing woman. So those are the books that I have got to get on with so far in April. As I said at the beginning of the video, I'm still reading the long list for the Women's Prize for Fiction long list. The shortlist is announced at the end of April, and I plan to get as many read from the long list as possible, and I've still got them sort of trickling into the library. I'm listening to some audiobooks of them and things like that, so as more of those arrive, I'll probably pick up more of those. But as I said, there's going to be 3 TBRs this month. Make sure you keep your eyes on them for what else I will be reading in the month of April. And yeah, that's it from me. Would love to hear what you guys have got planned to read in April. Have you read any of these guys before, and would be interested in hearing what you had to say. And I will see you all again soon for another booktube video. Goodbye!